In this lesson, we're going to go through maps. Maps are collections with key value pairs. In some languages, this would be referred to as a hash map. To create a map, you denote the data type of the key and the value. And those don't have to be the same data types, they could be different. First, what we're going to do, just to go through and start with, it's going to be the same data type. And we'll create a map of a string. And we'll call it string map. And then we're going to create it as a new map, string. Oops. And what we're saying here is we're saying that the key is going to be a string and the value is going to be a string. So we're using the key to find the value, and the value is going to be returned as a string. And then the key to get the value is going to be a string. So if we have string map, in order to add to a map, you use the method put. So let's add a string. Let's do hello world. And we'll do a couple of other ones. Put. We'll do Alfred Pennyworth. And then we'll have another string of a put, string map of put. We'll do Batman and Robin. Okay, so now let's just see what this looks like. All right, when we run this, so as we run this and we put in the debug, what we can see here is we just have right here we have it in curly braces, and then we just have key value pairs. So we have Alfred equals Pennyworth, Batman equals Robin, hello equals world. And then maps don't use indexes either. So if I try to use this map and get the first index, let's say I wanted the hello world. As I run this, we're going to get an error. It needs to be a list. So we can't use those either, or the indexes. So let's say I want to retrieve a value, and to do that, we have to use the keys. Let's do system debug string map. Let's say I want to get the value world. So I put in its corresponding key of hello. It has to be a string. And then let's say that I want to get Robin. So then I have to put the key of Batman in to retrieve Robin. Let's just kind of this out. So as I can see here, when I debug, for the string map, when I get hello, the value is returned, which is world. Same as when I use Batman, and when I get Batman, the value of Robin gets returned. So with maps, just like sets, the keys cannot be duplicated. So for example, let's say that I want a string map, and then I put, we'll do Batman again, and then we'll do Batwoman. So because these can't be duplicates, what's going to happen is that when I use this, when I run this put, it's going to replace Batman. It's going to replace the value for Batman with Batwoman instead of Robin. So we can see, we'll keep this, we'll comment out the hello debug, we'll keep the other one. And then I will type in, and we'll get Batman and see what's returned. All right, and we can see here when we debug. So on the first debug, we're getting Batman. This is before we use the put for Batman again and replace Robin with Batwoman. Then we do a get again of Batman and we get Batwoman. The values, on the other hand, they can be duplicate. So let's say I want a string map and I'm going to put Alfred, and then we'll have the get be Batwoman as well when we put in Alfred. So then if I do a debug of string map and then get Alfred as the key, we will see Batwoman getting returned again. So as you can see here, line 12, when we debug for getting Batman, comes back with Batwoman. Same as when we get Alfred, comes back with Batwoman again. And then if we wanted to just confirm everything, we can debug that map. And I'm going to get rid of these debugs. And I can see here, Alfred equals Batwoman, Batman equals Batwoman. So the values can be duplicates, it's just the keys that can't be. You can also get the set of keys. So because the keys cannot be duplicates, they actually return as a set. If I do key set, which is a method within the map, I can see right here when I debug, I get Alfred Batman hello, which is the keys. And then I can do the same thing with the values. Values, and instead of being the keys, and this is going to return a list instead. So we can see right here the curly braces as well. And then when we debug and get the values, we see world Batwoman Batwoman, and this is in parentheses, showing that it's a list. So then, as I stated before, maps can have any key value pair. So what I can do is we can have a map of, let's say, ID string. This would be an ID map. New map. ID string. Maps of IDs get used quite a bit, so that way you can use any type of ID and then return back a value for it. You can also do a map. Again, we're using ID, but it could be anything. But you can also have a return of a list. ID contact map. Let's say you had an ID and you wanted to return a list of contacts. ID list contact. And this would be perfectly valid. Then you can also return a map as a value. So let's say that I wanted to do a map of ID, which is going to in turn return another map of ID with a list. I haven't seen this used before, but it is valid. And that would be, again, ID, map, ID, list, contact. And then if I just run these, we're going to see that it all executes just fine without any errors that are occurring, showing that it's all valid. Now again, I haven't seen this used before. Doesn't mean that it hasn't been, but the use case would be very uncommon. I just wanted to show some of the flexibility that you can have with maps, where a map is a key and then the values can really be whatever you want it to be. And then the map itself could be any type of data type.